Okay, so my name is Tahirah, and I'm presenting Brazil's Amazon destructive president, Jair Bolsonaro. Okay, so my research question was, what is the impact of Brazil's government on the Amazon rainforest, specifically the fires? Okay, so some background information. What is the Amazon? So the Amazon is a rainforest that covers 9 Latin America countries, and it provides approximately 20% of the world's oxygen, which goes into why it matters and why it's important. Next is, who is Jair Bolsonaro? He is the president of Brazil, and he took office January 1st, 2019. Okay, so why does the role of the government matter when it comes to the Amazon? So they operate under a federal republic system, which means the president is both the head of the government and the state. And the government holds legislative, judicial, and executive power, which means that the laws they enforce can either break or make the Amazon. So if they're not positive towards the Amazon, then they'll enforce negative laws and stuff like that. So my thesis was, Bolsonaro serves as a negative impact on the Amazon due to his economic development perspective on the rainforest. So Bolsonaro doesn't support the Amazon's health and vitality. He desires agricultural and industrial growth, which when he first came into office, he opened up the rainforest for industrial purposes, and he wanted to enlarge his franchises to replace the trees with buildings, lands for cattle, soybean plantations, and gold mining, and that's what he really wanted to enforce. Next is declines money. So after we heard about the fires in late August, a lot of people were criticizing him, saying you need to help the Amazon and fires that are going on. And the G7, which is a group of 7 nations, which consists of the United States, France, Canada, etc., and they offered $20 million to help the Amazon and to help with the fires, but he declined it. And last, he limited time to aid the fires. So he gave firefighters 60 days, which to me is impractical, because from how rapid the fires were spreading, it would take more than 60 days to help aid the fires. And he also said that the fires that weren't terminated within those 60 days would stay. So next is the indigenous people. So the indigenous people, they're like the heart of the Amazon, and what they really want to do is to preserve their culture and their heritage, and all they do is bring peace and harmony. So I'm just going to give an analogy to what the indigenous people are going through. So you can say I'm a wealthy woman, whatever, businesswoman, and you guys live in an isolated place, I don't know, somewhere isolated, and your great-great-grandparents built it up from the bottom with their bare hands, whatever, and I just came and I said, okay, I can make this into a resort. It's isolated, it's nice, I can make it into a resort and make money. And I just come and I slash it all down. How would you feel? Would you be mad? Would you be upset? Okay, so that's exactly how these indigenous people are feeling. And basically, Bolsonaro, he tried to set back their protection policies so he could go into their communities and destroy it. But the Supreme Court and top congressional leaders helped with that and rolled them back so it wouldn't happen. But Cesar Aceves in November 14th, he said that some indigenous communities were under attack. So you can see that some of these things are still going on, and Bolsonaro wasn't doing anything about it. And next step, so you could advocate and spread awareness, and some of the limitations would be the government may not care what you advocate for. One of the things that I talked about in my report and my research was that down in VCU, they paraded for the Amazon and the awareness, but still nothing has happened to help it. And do we fully put the blame on the government? No. So information that I found to serve as a counterclaim was that the fires are prominent during the months of June to November, and they have their peak in September. So logically speaking, in August there would be an increase when it's close to September. So as you can see, this is from 2003 from this line up here, and you can see the fires, they rise within August to September. And I'm going to skip to 2010. There's a really high increase right there, as you can see, and it decreased along the years, but in 2019 it wasn't too far off from the other years, which many news articles try to say, oh, this is the world record, and I even believe that as well, that these fires, you know, they were really bad. But as you can see, it's not too far off from the other years, and 2020 it just started, so there's not really any fires. Okay, so my conclusion is Bolsonaro is motivated by agricultural and industrial gains, and which causes the Amazon to suffer. The indigenous people are at risk of losing their territory and possibly their lives, and a solution is to advocate.